Hello, welcome back to the Boardgames 4K YouTube channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, and we generally talk a load of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And today we are going to be talking about a economic engine building game called Clans of Caledonia. And today is a nice day, it's the first day of spring kind of thing, so we thought we would come outside and do the review in the open air for some bizarre reason. But we're here in the wonderful Langston Harbour, just by where I live. So let's crack on with this review. So, Clans of Caledonia. How do you play this game? So this game takes place over 4 phases. The first phase is the clean-up phase, and what you do, you'll flip the existing score tile over to its unused side, and then you'll flip the next one over. Everyone will take all their merchants back off the market board, and you'll refill the export board with more export contracts. Everyone will take one action until everybody's passed, and some of the actions that you can take is that you can trade. You'll take one or more of the merchant cubes from your player board and you'll place it on the buy or sell market space, and you'll take the number of goods equivalent to the amount of merchants that you've put on the board, and you'll pay the cost, and depending on how many merchants you put on the board, you will move the buy and sell marker up that many spaces. Right, so the next action that you can do is you can obtain a contract, and you will pay the relevant cost of the contract. You'll take the contract, put it on your player board. You can only ever have one contract at any one time, and in the first round you'll actually get paid $5 to take a contract. In the second round all contracts are free, and in the third round you'll have to pay a lot of money for contracts, right? So the longer the game goes on, the more expensive the contracts become, so it's good to get these in and get these completed early unless you've got a load of money. So the next action you could do is you can expand, and you'll take one of the units from your board and you'll place it on the main board, and you have to be adjacent to one of your existing units, and you have to be within shipping distance of a unit. And to calculate shipping distance, you'll look at your shipping track, you'll count the number of spaces, and the first level of shipping means that you can go across rivers, and then subsequent levels of shipping means that you can go over locks. You will have to pay the cost off your player board to place a unit. You'll also have to pay the cost on the actual space unless you've got a specific benefit that will allow you to reduce the cost of that, you know what I mean? So the next thing that you can do is you can upgrade your shipping. You'll pay £4 and you will move outside the mud. You'll move your shipping track up one. The first one, as we said, allows you to cross rivers, and then you'll be able to cross locks with subsequent shipping levels. Nice and easy. So you can also upgrade your technology. What you do, you'll pay £10 and then you'll flip over the relevant technology, either the miner or the woodcutter. But if you have got a special benefit, then you will be able to cut the cost of this down to £5. So try and scrimp a little bit, you know what I mean? So the next thing that you can do is you can fulfill an export contract, in which case you'll pay the goods on the left hand side of the tile. If you've got mutton or beef, it's very windy, if you've got mutton or beef, then you'll have to slaughter a cow or a sheep from the main board and put it back on your player board. But otherwise you'll pay the cost and you'll get the rewards on the right hand side of the tile. And what you'll do, if you've got cotton, tobacco or sugarcane, you'll move those markers up the relevant spots, and that will come in handy for end game scoring. And if you've got hops, then you'll just place the tile next to your empty export space, and they will count as 1 point at the end of the game. Easy peasy, isn't it? So the last thing that you can do is you can pass, and what you do when you pass, you'll move your marker on the turn order track to the next available space, and you'll take the money that is on that space. It'll either be 16, 14, 12 or 10, and that means that you will go first in the next round. Once everyone's passed, then you move on to the next phase. You go back to the preparation phase, and you keep doing this until you reach the 5th round, and then the game is over, and you'll do a bit of final scoring. Shut up. Thanks. So another thing you can do on your turn, you can use a port space, and what you'll do, you'll have to have a unit adjacent to a port space, and you'll be able to take that benefit, but you'll only be able to do it once per game. And when you've done that, you'll have to put one of your port markers on the port tile to indicate that you've already taken that benefit. Simples. So once everyone's passed, then you will go into final scoring. You will get 1 victory point for every point on the glory track. You'll get 1 point for every basic good in your stock. You'll get 2 points for every processed good in your stock, 1 point for every 10 money that you've got left over at the end of the game, and you'll get 1 point for every hops that you have got on your completed export contract tiles. So another piece of scoring you've got to do, you've got to tot up the amount of imported goods that are on the board. So the rarer the imported goods, the more victory points they score, and the most common scores a lower amount of victory points. You'll get 12 victory points if you've completed the most export contracts, and you'll get 6 victory points if you completed the second most number of export contracts. And then what you do, you'll add up the amount of settlements that are within shipping distance of each other, and the player who's got the most of them will get 18 victory points, and then the other players who've got the second and third will get a lower amount of victory points, and then the player with the most victory points will win Clans of Caledonia. So what do we like about Clans of Caledonia? So the first thing that we like about Clans of Caledonia is the small box. It takes up less space on our already jam-packed shelves, on our IKEA Kallax shelves, and that means also you can get the lovely modular board into the box, no problem at all, and that means that you get infinite replayability from the modular board, right? So small box, super duper. So the second thing that we like about Clans of Caledonia is the way that the specialised player abilities are varied and quite balanced. You've got special abilities that allow you to blag certain special resources, you get discounts and all that sort of stuff. You've got special abilities that allow you to reduce the shipping cost if you're building adjacent to a lock. You've got special abilities that give you discounts when you buy certain types of goods. So they're all varied, there's a lot of them, and we do like the variation on the special player abilities. So the next thing that we like about Clans of Caledonia is the wonderful market mechanism. We haven't seen this before in many games. So the fact that you're going to be increasing the price of goods that you take and decreasing the price of goods that you sell means that you won't always be able to get what you want from the market because of the variable cost. And it sort of reminds us of when we first played Cyclades and we had the auction mechanism. We were wowed by that, and we're wowed by this. And it is one of the best market mechanisms and one of the most simple market mechanisms that you could get in any board game that we've played recently. It's fantastic. So the next thing that we like about Clans of Caledonia is the way that the resources are always available in some shape or form, whether that's from the marketplace or whether or not you're going to have the factories that produce goods like cheese where you can process milk and all that sort of thing. So it's a good toss-up. Do you go for the cheaper way but the more risky way, where if you go to the marketplace the goods that you need might not always be available, or they might be too expensive, or they might be too cheap when you want to flog them? Or do you invest in your own production mechanism by spending the dosh to get the cheese factory when you most need it? And that's a really tasty choice, a bit like cheese really. So what don't we like about Clans of Caledonia? So the first thing that we don't like about Clans of Caledonia, and this causes us a lot of problems where every time we play this, because the components, the units are too similar to each other. So, you know, you've got the cheese tokens are too similar to the cheese factories, and it did cause a lot of confusion as to what produces what and when. And I know you're going to be sitting there thinking, well, it's quite simple really, but you know we struggle with these sorts of things. You know we're thick. That's why we come outside when it's going to start raining, because we're a bit stupid, do you know what I mean? So the next thing that we don't like about Clans of Caledonia is that it's a bit too similar to other games that we've played, like Terra Mystica for instance. You know, the end game scoring is kind of similar to that same sort of thing. You'll be taking components off of your player board and then placing them out on the board to, you know, sort of score points and that sort of thing. You know, they give you benefits and all that sort of thing. It's also quite similar to Scythe in the way that the shipping works, you know, that you can't cross rivers and that you'll have to increase your shipping track and all that sort of stuff. So, I don't know. The fact is if you've already got other similar games, is it going to be worth playing or paying out for Clans of Caledonia? I'm not really sure about that. So the next thing we don't like about this game is that the rulebook sort of sucks in a sort of roundabout way. It's not the greatest rulebook in the world. You know what I mean? We did have trouble trying to find things. There's a tie for endgame scoring. It's tucked away somewhere in a tiny little place that is very, very difficult to find, coupled with the fact that fields aren't really that well explained in the rulebook. We were scratching our heads with certain tiles, thinking, well, does it mean this? Does it mean that? Well, we just go with it. We just decide that that's what we're going to do. And if it's wrong, then tough crap. So the rulebook could be better. So the final thing that we don't like about Clans of Caledonia is that the port tiles are sort of unbalanced, not in the way that they're constructed or but just the fact that their placement. So one of your opponents has got a better scoring tile, port tile than you, and you can't get to it, you're screwed, because there's no way that you can go from one side of the board to the other and still win the game. So it's a bit crap, really. What they should have done is basically, I don't know, come up with some sort of alternative mechanism where you can use port tiles or pay to use them, or maybe if you're building a settlement on adjacent to the board, then you could do something. I don't know, I'm not a board game designer, but we did think that that sucked real bad. So to summarise, is Clans of Caledonia worth playing today and in the future? So we are going to say yes, with a couple of caveats. If you've already got Terra Mystica or maybe even Scythe, there's really no need to go out and play this game, because they have got similar mechanics. They do work in a similar way. But if you haven't got that one, this is one of the better economic engine building games out there. So we highly recommend this. It does have a couple of flaws. There's a few unclear rules, there's a few unclear tiles, and you'll be scratching your head a little bit when you first play the game. But overall, we're going to give this 4 out of 5. We do enjoy this game. So there you go, that's Clans of Caledonia. Remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below. And I'm going to shut off now, because this being our first outside vlog, there's a lot of people here that are sort of used to this sort of thing. So I'm getting a few funny looks. So I'm going to go home, have a cup of tea, and maybe a cheese toastie, and I'll see you later.